All right, today we're taking a look inside the digital arsenal of a company that's right at the forefront of modern defense. We're talking about Zen Technologies, a firm that's literally building the tools for the wars of tomorrow. So let's see what that future actually looks like.
You know, the ancient strategist Sun Tzu wrote that over 2,000 years ago, and honestly, it's more relevant now than ever. In a world where threats can pop up in an instant, readiness, well, it isn't just an advantage, it's everything.
But what does readiness even mean today? The battlefield has changed more in the last 10 years than it did in the 100 years before that. The old rules, they're being completely rewritten by technology.
And here's just a quick snapshot of that new landscape. I mean, we've got AI being plugged into command systems. We've got drone warfare going from this niche little tactic to a full-blown mainstream reality. Cybersecurity isn't just for IT departments anymore, it's a frontline concern. Old-school drills are being replaced by immersive training with AR and VR. And on top of all that, countries are scrambling to build their own local manufacturing. This is the new reality.
So, when you're facing this high-tech reality, it leads to the first huge challenge. How do you even begin to prepare a soldier for a fight that's both physical and digital? Well, that's exactly where Zen Technologies comes in.
Just think about it for a second. How do you simulate the intense stress of launching an anti-tank missile or a super complex tactical fight without putting people at risk or spending a fortune? You can't just hand someone $1 million piece of equipment and say, hey, go figure it out.
So, Zen's answer to this whole problem is a suite of incredibly advanced simulators. And let me be clear, these are not video games. We're talking about everything from containerized firing ranges you can drop anywhere in the world to missile simulators that train pilots on precision strikes. They even have full-scale tactical simulators that drill entire squads on battlefield strategy. It's all about building muscle memory and tactical instinct in an environment that's safe, controlled, and you can repeat it over and over again.
Okay, so once you have soldiers trained for this new reality, you have to equip them to face its most disruptive threat. And on the modern battlefield today, that means one thing: tackling the rise of drones.
The sky is just not a safe place anymore. It's now filled with swarms of low-cost, high-tech unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, that can be used for spying or as weapons themselves. This right here is the challenge.
Zen's approach for countering this threat is simple, but it is incredibly effective. It all boils down to 3 steps. First, you can't shoot down what you can't see, so you have to detect it. Second, you can't stop what you don't understand, so you have to classify it. Is it a friend or a foe? And finally, you neutralize it.
So how do you actually do all that? This is Zen's solution, a comprehensive counter-unmanned aerial system, or CUAS for short. And these aren't just vehicles. You should think of them as mobile, multi-layered defensive shields designed to protect really critical areas.
So here's the breakdown of how it works. The system uses a whole bunch of things: radio frequency sensors, high-tech cameras, and radar to find a drone. Once it's locked on, it's got options. It can use powerful jammers to mess with the drone's communication, basically making it useless. Or it can just take it out of the sky with physical force.
Now, advanced simulators and anti-drone shields are seriously impressive technologies, for sure. But do they work as a business? Well, this is where the story gets really interesting. Let's look at the numbers, because they show just how high the demand for these solutions really is. 116%. That's the year-on-year jump in their revenue from operations. I mean, just think about that. The company more than doubled its operational revenue. That's a massive surge, and it's driven by successfully delivering these advanced systems.
Next up, 79%. Now this is the growth in their operational profits. And this is so crucial because it shows their whole model, which is driven by their own intellectual property, isn't just growing the top line, it's creating real sustainable value. It's incredibly profitable.
And finally, 103%. That is the growth in their profit after tax. The bottom line more than doubled in just 1 year. You put those 3 numbers together and they paint a really clear picture. Zen isn't just developing relevant tech, it's meeting a critical and rapidly growing global demand.
But look, this kind of explosive growth isn't just some short-term spike. Zen is making some really smart, strategic moves to make sure they're ready for what's coming next. They are absolutely calibrated for the long game. They're doubling down on the very thing that got them here: innovation. A massive investment, we're talking about roughly $8.4 million US, is being pumped into expanding their research and development hub. This is all about making their development cycles faster and responding to new threats before they even properly emerge.
And this, right here, is their ultimate goal. Their vision isn't just about being a leader in their own country. It's about putting India on the map as a global powerhouse for defense, innovation, and technology. That's the ambition that drives every single thing they do.
Which brings us to a final and pretty critical question. As we step into this new age of autonomous warfare, where does the real advantage lie? Is it in the perfectly trained soldier whose skills are sharpened by thousands of hours in a simulator? Or is it in the intelligent machine, the autonomous shield that can detect and neutralize a threat in milliseconds? Companies like Zen are betting the answer is both, and that is something worth thinking about.